Hello and welcome back to the Cosmic Engine, and today we're going to be having a look at the newly released Warhammer 40k Space Hulk. Now Space Hulk is developed by Full Control Studios, who have also developed games such as the free-to-play turn-based strategy Frontline Tactics. So first off, just what exactly is Space Hulk? The term Space Hulk is used in the Warhammer 40k universe for a mass of derelict ships, asteroids and other assorted space debris. The Space Hulk franchise itself started back in 1989 with the release of a two-player board game based on the Warhammer 40k tabletop, also named Space Hulk. The premise of the board game was that a group of Space Marine Terminators were sent to investigate a Space Hulk, and they would face off against a Tyranid group of Gene Stealers in turn-based action. Now, there have been previous installments in the video game industry of Space Hulk, the first being back in 1993, which was developed by Electronic Arts for the PC and Amiga system, and once again in 1995, which was a game developed for the PlayStation, Sega Saturn and 3DO systems. Once again, it was made and published by Electronic Arts. So, in Full Control's attempt at the beloved franchise, you take the role of a squad of Blood Angel Terminators. Those who know little about the 40k lore but have played previous Warhammer 40k games will remember the Blood Angels from Dawn of War 2. The Blood Angels are known for their blood red armour, their ferociousness in battle, and they are one of the oldest and longest surviving chapters of the Space Marines. Your opponents in the game, as you can expect, are once again the dreaded Tyranid subspecies, the Gene Stealers. These fearsome creatures are the shock troopers of the Tyranid force, and they are often sent ahead of the main force to scout potential worlds for devouring. Their lightning flash reflexes are only matched by their massive strength and their razor-sharp claws that can tear through even the toughest armour, making them one of the most deadliest creatures in the universe. So let's start with the single player campaign. I've done the tutorial and I'm going to jump into the first mission here. Now, the game's main campaign is based upon the Sin of Damnation campaign for the 3rd edition board game that was released in '93. The Sin of Damnation Space Hulk is close to the home world of the Blood Angels, and as such they are tasked with purging the Xenos, which in this case is the Gene Stealer cult. I do have to say that I am loving the single player campaign. The turn-based combat works from action points. Each movement or any type of action costs action points, and as such you really have to think about your moves. You really don't want to leave yourself open to a Gene Stealer attack. Each Marine gets 4 action points, and you also have control points each round, which can be used for extra action points if you find yourself in a bit of a pickle. Movement is tile-based, and the game clearly shows you how much each action will cost you, so if you do mess up, it's basically your own fault and not the game's. The difficulty of the game is fantastic. It's one of the few games that I have died consistently during the tutorial. It's absolutely brutal, but in a very good way. It really makes you think and plan ahead. One clean hit from a Gene Stealer will see your Marine dead, so it is so important not to let them get too close to your squad. Full Control have done a fantastic job making the game really feel like the board game did. If you rush through your turns, you will make a mistake, and one mistake could lead to the death of one or more of your Marines, crippling you for the rest of the battle. The game's UI is really well designed. It really feels very Warhammer 40k-ish. I love the first person camera that you can see in the top right. It lets you see what the Space Marines see, so it lets you go through the narrow holes that the Terminators themselves see. It's a really nice touch. It's easy to use, the user interface is easy to use, the tutorial is really well thought out and explains the mechanics really well and very clearly. I would recommend playing the tutorial first because it also gives you a bit of prologue to the main campaign as well. The character models are great, but I am biased in the fact that I bloody love Terminator squads. The whole game really gives you a sense of dread around every corner. I really start to panic each time a Gene Stealer would get too close to one of my squads and kind of, quickly press the attack button and hope that I don't die. Terminators themselves have a variety of weapons, varying from the power swords of the sergeants to flamers and your typical bolters. Bolters, like in the Warhammer 40k lore, can jam, and if you have spare command points at the end of your turn, your marines will automatically use those points to unjam their weapons, saying something like, "The machine god has answered my prayers." However, you can't, if you have used all your CP points, you better pray to the Emperor because those Tyranids are going to be coming for you. The multiplayer in the game is really fantastic, and it makes it even feel more like the board game. One player will take control of the Terminators and the other player will take control of the Tyranid Gene Stealers. It's really fun to play round after round with your friends, screaming at each other over voice chat. Another great thing is that the multiplayer is cross-platform, so regardless if you are playing on PC, Mac or iOS, you can face your friends or against complete strangers. Full Control have also stated that there will be downloadable content, so expect more maps, more campaigns and more skins, perhaps with more chapters of Space Marines coming soon. For an indie title, it's one of the funnest turn-based strategy games I have played this year. It really captures everything people loved about the board game and everything people still love about the Warhammer 40k universe. You can pick up the game off Steam now for around £22.99, which is about $35 in the US. There is also an option to purchase 2 copies of the game, one for you and one for a friend, for around £40, which is about $60 I think. If you can afford it, I definitely recommend picking up the 2 copies to play with a friend. It's really worth it for the multiplayer and the fun that you can have there. All in all, it is a great game, and if you're a Space Hulk fan or a Warhammer 40k fan, or you just like turn-based strategies, it is definitely worth picking up. I really would recommend this one. So thank you so much for watching. Do like, subscribe and leave a comment. I will put a link to the Steam page in the description below, and I will see you next time.